Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Beela coming to you with another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 27, Peace Before the Storm. Yeah, this episode was a whole lot, and I think that I was kind of bothered by the end of this episode. Yeah, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you get anything out of my commentary. The more you do like my videos, the more they do go in the algorithm and more my people will start to view my content. On the road to 5,000 subscribers, y'all, we are chugging along, chugging along. Now let's get into this episode, right? The episode picks up with Kimmy and Maurice. I don't know if they're finished with the contracting work or the renovations at their office, but I know that there are some things that need to be all the way completed. I guess things that the brother Micah didn't finish, somebody else has to come in and tie up those loose ends. So Maurice suggested in hiring another contractor for the additional work. Kimmy says that Maurice should do that. That's the reason why she married him. You know, she felt like Maurice should go around and fix up things that she cannot fix. That's what she wanted in a man. That's what she wanted in a marriage. But Maurice says he's a lawyer and he got too many lawsuits and he really can't deal with things around the house. And Kimmy says she doesn't understand why he act as if he doesn't want to help her. She always has to ask for help. And that's the only time he will help her is when she asks. And then Maurice says, you know what, just give me a list of items and I'll do it. And Kimmy also brings up when they had went to go get the Yanni steams, you know, and it helps with detox and it helps increase the libido. Maurice is like laughing, being funny, like people come up with the craziest things. He just thinks it's so crazy. He said that we were created, God, Jesus, he created us to have everything we need in us to clean ourselves out. Our body is self-cleaning, which it is. But it's a lot of other stuff like STD, syphilis, all these other things that the man has made up. God has he created doctors too and scientists and chemists to come up with other things that can help foreign items and objects and diseases that should not be in our body. He created those things and herbs, the herbs of the land, and you know, because they were made good to help, you know, other cleaning agents clean those things out of our body. You know that he did that too, Maurice. When we can't help ourselves, we go and get things that can help us help ourselves, right? So then she brings up Tisha, and you know, before they got their steams, there was a sign said if you're pregnant, you know, you can't take the steam. But Kimmy like, hey, we good. I ain't pregnant. Tisha, she ain't pregnant. But Tisha said, I've been sick lately. I've been throwing up, been gaining weight. I think I need to take a pregnancy test. Kimmy looking at her like, girl, you done got a pregnancy test, but your man had a vasectomy. But you know, Tisha said, but if something may slip through. But the test ended up coming back negative. And Kimmy said that what if Marceau know you took a test knowing that he had a vasectomy? He may not take that too lightly. Maurice said that he has had this vasectomy about 4 years ago. Now, if one slipped through, it would have slipped through a long time ago. And Kimmy asked Maurice, Kimmy asked Maurice not to tell Marceau, just to let Tisha handle that because, you know, she don't want to cause no problem. So let Tisha tell him, Maurice, and leave it alone, okay? And Maurice says that Tisha need to go to Africa because, you know, she was saying that Leticia was stressed out with work and the kids and all this stuff with Kiki. Maurice says that Tisha need to go to Africa alone. And Kimmy says yes and come back refreshed. And Maurice says, and not pregnant. I said, okay, that was kind of funny. All right, so after that, then Leticia and Stormi, they get together. And they get together just to, I guess, just to talk. Well, you know they finna have a whole rundown, child. But anyway, so Leticia's at her office, and that's being renovated, right? And she's meeting up with Stormi. And Stormi feels like because she had such great success with Kiki and Tiffany, that she feels like she can have that same success with Tisha and Kiki. I said, child, Tiffany done left the show, so I don't know how successful that was, being that they ain't gonna really see each other no more. But anyway, it is what it is. So Stormi brings up the barbecue, and Tisha said, you know what? Because Stormi said, how you been since the barbecue? Tisha said, you know what? I've been good. I just got back from vacation. Stormi asks, have her and Kiki talk? Tisha says no. But Tisha says that whole barbecue event, that nailed the coffin. And Tisha brings up the issues. Tisha brings up the issues and all that stuff. And Tisha says that she feels as if Tisha brings up the issue that Stormi has with her own friend. And she says, well, you're not friends anymore with your friend because of all the drugs and all that stuff. But Stormi says that's different. Tisha wants to know, how is it different? Stormi says that Kiki is in recovery, but Tisha says that she's not. She says she has not seen her take a pill with her own eyes. She hadn't seen her take the pill with the water. Or, some people just swallow the pill without water. I don't see how you could do that, because I don't know. Anyway, but her behavior is still very similar to what it was when she was, taking the pills, right? And then Stormi didn't like that. Stormi says she don't think that it's fair for Leticia to come at Kiki like that and she ain't got proof. That's like not cool. But anyway, Tisha says she knows that her and Stormi has developed a friendship. And she says that Tisha knows that Kiki and Stormi has developed a friendship. And she says that her and Stormi, they both have a friendship. But the thing is, while Tisha is trying to talk to finish her sentence, she really couldn't, because Stormi done cut her off. She was like, girl, you know what? Just tell me about your trip, because I ain't trying to get into all that. Y'all family, I'm going to just slide out and y'all let y'all handle that. Okay, so then Stormi says, so how was your trip? Tisha says she went to Vegas. She had some fun. She gained some weight. She went with her college friends that was turning 40. Then Stormi to me, I feel like Stormi was being messy. I feel like she was. Because Stormi said, did Marcel go to Vegas? Now, you just heard Leticia say she went with her friends, her college friends. It was a trip without nobody but her college friends. She ain't mentioned nothing about no Marcel. Tisha said, no, he celebrated with his friends. They went to Colombia. Stormi says, Colombia? What made them go to Colombia? Why you all in their business? She told me because it's a brothel place and there's prostitutes everywhere. And Tisha said, well, they had a good time. And Stormi talking about, I bet they did. So it's mighty funny that you would insinuate and carry on the narrative that Marcel was out here cheating without proof. But then you will get upset when Leticia said, well, I haven't seen her take a pill, but her behavior is as if she's still taking pills. But you get upset with that. Stormi? So it's cool when you do it, but then when it's a problem with somebody else do it. And Stormi does a lot of that. She does a whole lot of that. And it really doesn't. It just makes me look at her different. And in this entire episode, I just was starting to be like, I'm good on Stormi. I'm cool on her. But anyway, Stormi says, now Tisha brings up Courtney. So, and then did you check how Stormi was looking? Because you can't bring up Courtney. You can't talk about Courtney, but you can sit up and talk about my man. You can talk about more Marceau, but nobody can bring up Courtney. Okay. So, Tisha asks, how was Courtney doing? Is he still upset? Stormi says, oh, he not upset. He just don't play like that. But Tisha said, Marcel was a big joker. Stormi says, no, we don't even joke like that. We were in a heated situation, and it's different. A lot of men don't play games, and and Courtney ain't one of them. And Stormi says he just let a lot of stuff roll off his chest, off of his back. So, it is what it is. But Before that, we was talking about going on a blind date, and she want to know if y'all want to still do it. It'll be good. It'll be good. And Stormi always say when she want to bring people together, it'll be good. It'll be good. It's always good when other people out here arguing and fussing and cussing each other out. But when she in the hot seat, she always make it seem like she can take being in the hot seat. But when things get hot, Stormi was picking up her sticks and she was ready to go. But we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Okay. All right. It'll be good. It'll be good. That's what she always say when a conflict is about to brew up. And then Stormi brings up, how was the stuff with your kids? And Tisha said, oh, the hairline is doing great. Stormi said, you know about the stuff with the website came back up. And Tisha was like, you know what? I was just focused on Scott Realty. I didn't have time to double check, but she said she hired her web designers and everybody else. And they told me that they doubled and checked, and no, they did. And then Stormi asked if Leticia was going to apologize to her. To Leticia, like, what? And they laughing. It ain't funny, Tisha, because you need to apologize to her. And Tisha said, oh, the web designer, he need to apologize to you. And then Stormi said, but people was talking, bad about her online too. And that's bad for her own business, which I agree. I agree with Stormi in this instance. And then Tisha said, well, we are all entitled to make a mistake, at least one mistake. But Stormi says, you could have called me. And Leticia said, I did call. She said, no, you didn't. And then Tisha said, well, you could have called me. And Stormi said, I did. I called you first. Here go Tisha. What did you say? She said, all this stuff going on. This a bad look and all that. But Tisha told me it ain't a bad look for me. We got a lot of orders. And at the end of the day, it worked out for them. And then Stormi got offended because she feel like Tisha should have apologized first. And now Stormi is really looking at her differently because of this. But tell you the truth, I believe Stormi was looking at her differently with that whole Kiki situation. I feel like when Stormi became friends with Kiki, then that's when she started to look at Tisha different. To me, Stormi is the type of person, when she befriends somebody and she really likes them, then she takes on that person's problems. She take on that person's issues. She don't know how to differentiate the people and the problems. She take it on, and I really believe that's why she picking. She picking at Tisha. I really believe that's why she picking. She bringing up this woman husband. She bringing up this brothels and all that stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like that. But Tisha, you was wrong. You was wrong 100%. You should have apologized to that girl. You should have called that girl and been like, hey, it's a lot of stuff going on. I'm on it. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I believe they had this conversation already. But since it came back up, they had to talk about it again. And so that's when Tisha did. She said she do apologize. No, she said a lot of people hate me. She said they just don't like her. And Stormi said, same here, because I got a lot of hate too. Tisha did apologize then. I said, Tisha, it took you too long. You should have just went ahead and said, you know what? Again, I apologize. I didn't want all this backlash to go on you. That's all you could have did. You could have it shouldn't take nobody having to push you to apologize. So you do be talking about Mel don't take accountability, which you don't. But Tisha, you don't take accountability like that either. And your husband told you that. So I guess it takes somebody to tell you that for you to realize. You need to get that together. Y'all need some water. All right. So now we have Chris and Nell. So they just get together and they talk about their son, little Chris. And Nell was like, did you ask little Chris why he not coming around? Because, he owe me money. And then Chris was like, you know how it is. But Nell is like, he a butthole. He a butthole. And Nell said that, she said when he needs help, then he's around. But when he doing good, we don't see him. And she said he do this stuff like that with his parents and his siblings. And Nell still saying that he a butthole. And, he don't call unless he wants something. But Chris said that he thinks he needs help. And Nell said that he's not, that little Chris is not happy with his life. And also, Chris said, well, I talked to him. You didn't. When I talked to him and when I seen him face to face, it was different. Little Chris was telling Big Chris that he wasn't sleeping. You know what I'm saying? He getting up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and he just drives somewhere and he just sits there. And Big Chris said that little Chris need therapy. And they're like, hold on, wait, what? I ain't know he, driving around at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And then Chris was like, that ain't good. Like that's not good. And Nell said that's a problem. And that's how you get in trouble. Because when you out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, anything can happen. You get in trouble, the police stop you. That's just the way to get up into some mess. And Big Chris said that it really weighed heavy on him because now he don't want to come around. He thinks that he's falling into some form of depression. And Chris said it really broke him down and made him tear up. That's what he was telling his wife, Nell. And Nell was like, I didn't know all of that. He did all that in front of you. And Nell says that's messed up. I can't believe he's really feeling that way. And then Nell said that little Chris has been messed up ever since when he was in high school. Apparently, he must have got a lot of football letters or scholarships or something, and it didn't go anywhere. And then on top of that, he got in trouble with the law. And now he's not happy with his career path and his life choices. And she said, and I'm glad that she did take accountability too, because she said it didn't help it that we was giving him pretty much everything he wanted, souped up cars and all that stuff. And then Chris said that he think that he lost his way. And that was just like, you know what? If it's that bad, she said, I won't even stress about the money. I'm not going to even worry about it. She said, but she was just really trying to hold him accountable. That's what she was just trying to do. But she says, she don't want him to stop coming around over no money. And she says she agrees. If he does need counseling, then she will be there for him. But she was like, I'm not going to get in no counseling session and get to arguing and stuff like that. This is going to be solely on him. And if he does want us to be there in this counseling session, then we will show up. But I do understand it though. I do understand it. I really do. Because myself, I have a 20-year-old, about to be 21-year-old. And he's in that journey of life where he's just trying to figure himself out, and I don't know what it is, but it's just like this stage that's really, really weird when it comes to people that are crossing over from becoming childlike until adulthood. It's a really weird stage. And we do have to be prayerful over our children. We have to be mindful and we have to be as supportive as we can as parents, and also still hold them accountable. And even though we really don't know what they want to do with their lives, in the same token, we still want to steer them in the right direction. That let them know if there's anything that we need, I can be there for you. Just let me know and I'll try my best. But I'm not going to spoil you and give you everything you want, but I will try to be there as much as I can. And I mean, I really understood it. I really, really understood this conversation because, like I said, I have a 21-year-old and it's something. And I know, and I have a great son. He works every day and everything like that, but that's not where he wants to be in life. He wants to, he wanna do his thing. He see all these people around here on YouTube and influencers, and he wanna do it too. Mr. Almighty Rick, he got a YouTube channel. Y'all wanna check him out? Y'all can. But it's just that I don't know. But my son, he works hard every day and all that stuff. But I don't know. It can be overwhelming sometimes when you see these people on YouTube and you see these people on TV, these people that's the same age as you, and you like, man, they getting it, but I don't know. It's just one of them situations, child. I didn't stay too long on that. All right. So now you have Melody, Tisha, and Kimmy. So they're all going to get their toes done and have a temperature check. Child, Melody said she really don't even have to get her toes done. She just did it because she just wanted to go. But anyway, so it starts out that it's Kimmy and Tisha first. So they talk about the steam, and then Tisha said the steam worked for her because her and Marceau been getting it in. And Kimmy said it didn't work for her, and it was kind of sad because she really went in with hopes of her, want to get pleasure too. Instead of her man getting out of pleasure, she want to get some pleasure too. You know what I'm saying? And Kimmy is like, well, did you tell Marceau about the whole pregnancy thing? And Tisha told her no. And Kimmy just like, why you won't tell him? Because in Kimmy's mind, she gonna go home, tell Marceau about the whole pregnancy test. They came negative, and they just gonna laugh about it. You know what? But Tisha said, I know y'all talking about the whole vasectomy stuff, but she said she know two of her friends that got pregnant when her husband had that vasectomy. So it's possible. Like I said in my last review, it's very much possible to still get pregnant. I feel like if God want them babies to be here, they gonna be here. Period. And I had a thought. I said, I believe the reason why Kimmy wants Tisha to tell Marceau so bad is because she went over there and told Maurice, and she don't want Maurice to tell to tell Marceau before Tisha can. Cause she don't want Marceau to think anything crazy at all. But anyway, so Mel walks in and then they end up discussing the whole name change ceremony. And Kimmy says, you've been busy. You've been on social media. That's like Melody's diary to life. And then, Melody said, she like to keep her supporters in the know of what she has going on with her life. Kimmy said she didn't receive an invitation. She was waiting on her phone to click and it didn't. Mel said she didn't want it to be a thing. And Kimmy said, well, if it had not been on the internet, then it never would have crossed her mind. But then when she said she saw it, she was waiting on her text message, like, come on down here to the name changing party, right? But Kimmy said that she did not want to take it the wrong way. That's why she wanted to ask Melody, what was going on. And Melody said, she appreciate her asking and all that stuff. But Melody said this ceremony was very close. It was for close family and very close friends. Kimmy said, but you put it on the internet. And Melody said, I didn't want it to become a thing. I didn't want any type of negative feelings. Like if she would have invited Kimmy, she would have invited Maurice, then Tisha, then Marceau, then her ex would have found out, and then he would have said something. And then they picking sides and all this other mess. And she just didn't want it to be a thing. I was like, girl, they just ain't your friends. That's all. They just ain't your friends. And then it is what it is. But Kimmy says she feels as if, she really just feel like she not really one of her friends, pretty much. Kim says, so Kimmy was just like, so how do you feel now after the whole name changing thing? Did you get the closure you was looking for? Melody said, well, she just looking to move forward, pretty much. And then Kimmy brings up the whole thing about her kids having a different last name than her, because in the African American community, most people look at it when you have separate names. They like, oh, she just a baby mama. She don't know who her baby daddy is, and they never was married, things like that. And it's tragedy. It's tragic that people think that way. And that's what I was saying, because I'm like, these kids are small. So I don't know, but that's how Kimmy expressed herself. And I understand what Kimmy was saying, because most people feel like you done got all these kids and your name ain't the same name as your kid. It must be something going on. All this old stupid stuff. But Melody said she's fine with that. She said she cool with it. She said as long as everybody, got the understanding, she okay. And then Melody brings up the point that Kimmy and Jalen technically don't have the same last name. But Kimmy did say that she took her last name and made it that Grant, and she made it her middle name. So Jalen and her will still have the same names. It's just technically not her last name, but they still do have the same name. So I guess. But Melody says everybody understands and they okay with it. And Melody does say in her confessional that she just wanted people that has good intentions to be at her name changing party, because sometimes they friend and sometimes they ain't, and sometimes they this and sometimes they that. And child, Melody, them just your work friends. You don't know them outside of Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's all you got to say. You don't know them. You know your close friends. That was invited. That's all you got to say. It is what it is. Don't sugarcoat it. Tell the truth. Just tell how it is. Then Melody bring up the thing with Leticia, right? And they talking about after they had the gym and the town hall and all that stuff. But I am so glad that Leticia just pretty much shut it down. She was like, you know what? She was over it. It was nothing personally to upset Melody. She said it was just everything. Everybody was coming at her with the questions, and she was over it. Melody said, well, it seemed like you was quiet when everybody else said something, but when I said something, it felt like it was an issue. And then Tisha says that she she apologized and she said due to the nature of their relationship, it's very sensitive between them, and any little thing can be like a misunderstanding, and she know that her energy was off. It wasn't personal or nothing like that, and she just apologized, and she just, you know yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And then Kimmy brings up, like, do y'all follow each other on social media? They said they can't. I'm not a social media girl, so I really don't know how it works. But she said they can't unblock each other. I didn't know y'all couldn't unblock each other. So you got to scroll and scroll and scroll until you find. So you just can't type somebody's name in and then do unblock. Child, I don't know. I don't do it. But anyway, she said that they cool at this point in real life, so social media don't matter. And that's how I agree. Because at the end of the day, if they get into it again, they gonna say, ooh, they unblocked, and it's gonna be a whole thing on social media. So I'm glad Leticia apologized and was like, it's nothing personal. I know our relationship is sensitive, and as long as I know and it wasn't like an attack on you or anything. I was just over the whole situation. I mean, we ain't got to be social media friends, but as long as we know what's going on between the both of us, then I think everything is okay. And I agree. Now, this is the pool day. This is the double date. And this date was a travesty. I'll tell you that right now. So here we go. So you got Courtney and Stormi. They on a double date with Marceau and Leticia. And at first it's just, Stormi telling Courtney that, they had met up and about her and Leticia meeting up earlier in the episode, and she felt as if Leticia was anticipating the conversation about the website. So I guess she's saying like Tisha already had her answers ready for Stormi. Okay. So then Stormi says that she blamed it on the web designer. She took no accountability. And Courtney was just like, well, dang, that's her business. You're going to have to double check out her stuff, which is cool. But it's crazy because in this confessional look, when Stormi got the zebra stuff on with her hair and them earrings on, I'm scratching my eye, y'all. Stormi was really mad. Stormi was cussing Tisha out in her confessionals, calling her. It was just a mess. I don't know what happened between Tisha and Stormi, but this Stormi was letting her feelings show, right? So Tisha and Marceau was like a half an hour late. Stormi gonna say they coming in late. Tell me, you ain't nobody, B. Like, B, you ain't nobody. I was like, what did Leticia do to you? Now, I understand she really didn't take accountability for the whole website incident, but what is really going on? So Tisha at this point really don't know that Stormi has an issue with her. She don't know. So they bring up the whole barbecue stuff, and Courtney wasn't there. Marceau said there was a lot of tension in the air. Stormi, who? Where? At the party? Tell me, well, yeah. Because it's almost like the way Marceau said it, like right now in that moment there was tension. And it's almost like, Stormi, you showing yourself. Now you talking about you be cool and you know how to let stuff go, but you look like you holding on to something, right? So Marceau said that Kiki had a problem with Leticia and let Stormi know. My thing is, how did Marceau know that Kiki had a problem with Tisha and let Stormi know? Well, I guess he did say that she did talk to him. So that's how she knew. So that makes sense. And then she said, and then Marceau said that Maurice had let him know that Courtney had a problem with him. Courtney said, I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? But I did have a problem with the whole Mr. Steele comment. He said, man, you know my name. Don't play with me like that. That's what kids do. Child, I know one thing. Stormi and Courtney gonna say, don't play with me like that. Don't play with me like that. I don't play. Child, y'all playing pool. But anyway, so Marceau says, that's like selective outrage, which I agree. He said, because you don't have a problem with your wife calling me a B like 10 times. Courtney said, I didn't have a problem with it. Stormi said, you didn't have a problem with it. Maurice says that he got his lick back, right? So Stormi said, you can't get your lick back with Courtney. You get your lick back with me. Marceau says, I can get my lick back with you because you knew what you was doing when you said it. Leticia talking about, I thought we was all way over this. So Marie said, we did. But Stormi said, but you agree with me that you were the biggest B. And you said that you She said, and if you said, she said in her confessional, if you have a problem with someone, if you have a problem, then you should have told us how you felt. But Leticia said, I don't think that anyone should call anybody that B word, right? So Stormi in her confessional, she was just like, look, Stormi said that she don't change, that she doesn't, her feelings don't change about her calling Marceau a B, but she said out of respect for Leticia and what Marceau told her, then she's not gonna call him that anymore. She said that she's gonna respect it. Now, mind y'all, she said she gonna respect it. But then when they go into the scene, then Stormi says this. Granted, the B word is disrespectful, but instead of you retaliating against me, you go with Courtney. And that ain't nothing that a man would do. That's something that a B would do. And I'm like, that's stupid. What? And then she says, why you call, what she say? And then she says, that's why I call you a B, because a man would say, Courtney, get your wife. I said, if that's not the stupidest stuff I've ever heard. So she's saying you can't retaliate against Courtney. So you think that Marceau is going to sit up here and have an argument with you, Stormi? He can't, because if he had an argument with you, then he going to be looked at as like this. Come on. That's crazy. So that looks stupid for him. So he has to go at your husband. He has no choice, because that doesn't make him look like a man sitting over here fussing it. And then what if he called you a B back? Then that's cool. Tell me, the only thing you have to say is, Courtney, get your wife. But at the time, what was Courtney around? Yeah, Courtney was around, but Courtney was laughing. Courtney said he ain't got no problem with it. So why you gonna say, and then when they even said, Courtney, get your wife, I ain't got no problem with it. That's stupid to me. Anyway, so Marceau was just like, and again, after our conversation, you still call me a B. And Stormi talking about, well, no, I ain't call you no B. He said, yes, you did. Well, Marceau said, well, I feel like you did. He said, but next time you do something like that, I'm just going to ignore you. That's what I'm going to do. And then Stormi was like, so she said, so you going to ignore me? That's disrespectful. That's how your wife got a drink thrown in her face. I was like, you know what? I cannot. I will not. Tisha said, why I gotta have a drink thrown in my face? Because you ignore Kiki. That's why. And Tisha said, that ain't a reason for nobody to throw a drink in my face. That's immature. Tisha gets in her confessional and she says that Stormi is throwing shade. And it's one thing to support Kiki through her addiction, but to blame me for her bad behavior, that's not fair. And Stormi, now this is when Leticia realized that Stormi has an issue with her. Marceau says that, Stormi, you say in your culture that the B word is a freaking word and y'all use it all the time. And Marceau is like, I don't have time to learn what you do in your own adult culture. And while Marceau was over here trying to talk to her, she picks up the phone and make a phone call. She takes her pool sticks and start putting them up. And like, I got some business I got to take care of. And Courtney like, it's your turn. She said, well, I'm not playing. Pretty much she quit. And Courtney talking about, I'm trying to win. And then Stormi said, well, I'll sit over here and watch. I'm like, make that make sense. So you stop playing your pool game to take care of business, but then you're going to just sit over there and watch him play? Stormi is a walking contradiction. She says so many times how get active, or she'll say, I know how to handle, I don't like confrontation, but I know how to handle it. What you're doing is very passive aggressive. You're very passive. You're going to get on the phone and act like you're doing some type of business instead of confronting the situation, all because you don't know how to control your feelings. That's what it is. Stormi doesn't know how to control her feelings. Stormi want to sit up and cuss in her confessionals, call Leticia all out of her name, all kind of bees and this and that and that. But this girl is right here in your face and you can't even directly tell her how you truly feel because you have misplaced anger. I don't know if Stormi is still mad at this website incident and she just going at Leticia. And I really honestly feel like her and Kiki have developed a friendship and now she's finding reasons to get mad at Tisha. And I thought y'all squashed that whole website stuff, so why is it an issue now? Stormi don't know how to let stuff go like she say she do. Just like she said she let the $100 go, but you didn't because you brought up every chance you get. Just like you say you're not going to call this man no B no more, but you do every chance you get. Just like you say this stuff is, but you know what I'm saying? You don't, then you put your husbands in situations that he really don't want to be in because he having fun playing pool and you trying to ruin his day too. Anytime Stormi don't have her way, she ruin it for the next person, i.e. her husband. So now her husband is in conflict with people that he don't even want to be in conflict with just because she got a problem. Stormi is an issue. And because at one point I was just like, okay, Stormi, okay. But then she don't know. She don't know how to handle her stuff. So you need to go to therapy for real. You be doing all this Reiki stuff and all these hitting on Zen bottles and taking sound baths. Girl, you need to go take another bath because right now you acting real dirty. Trifling dirty. Anyway, y'all, this Sheila be like, comment and subscribe and let me know what y'all think about this episode. Because Stormi really rubbed me the wrong way. And a lot of people don't like Tisha. Y'all don't like her. The only reason y'all don't like Tisha is because Melody don't like Tisha. Point blank and period. Because if Melody like Tisha, y'all, it's it. Y'all will like her again. But Melody don't like her, so y'all don't like her. So anything that Leticia does, y'all find a way to make it Leticia's fault. The girl had a drink thrown on her, it's Leticia's fault. The girl got cussed out, that's Leticia's fault. Everything that happens negative to Leticia, y'all find a way to say, oh, Leticia caused it upon herself so this can happen. And that's really crazy. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Tisha didn't warrant any of that conversation. Now, that whole website stuff, yes. But if they talked about it and got through it, Stormi to sit back and thought about it and slept on it, and she didn't like the way that the conversation went. So now she's still mad and won't let it go. That ain't Tisha's fault. Because they left on a good note. That ain't Tisha's fault. Stormi has an issue. And y'all will rally around that. Anything negative that Leticia has going on, a lot of people, y'all, I ain't gonna say all of y'all, but a lot of y'all rally around this stuff. And that ain't cool. Just because of Melody. That is not cool. Anyway, I done ranted and I done raved. Anyway, bye y'all. Hit the like button.